Alright, boysies, how yous doing? How yous doing this fine day? We're coming to you live from the Dusty Old Man Home Video Store, and this time we've got something a little bit different. So this time, we're gonna be doing something quite possibly the nerdiest shit I have ever done. This is basically fan fiction, boysies. I'm going to be pitching a roster for Persona 5 Arena, and leave me alone, boysies. I know the cover's shite. I made it in 5 minutes. I made it because I also didn't want to bump anyone's fan art, so I had to use official art and use driving myself. But we're gonna try and pitch the roster for Persona 5 Arena, a fighting game that unfortunately does not exist, which you think would be easy money, Atlas. You've made spin-offs with fucking everything. You've done crossovers with everything. Easy money, surely, but what do I know? I'm just a fucking nerd who's making a video about a fucking video game roster that doesn't exist. So let's get started, shall we? So, I've given myself a wee bit of wiggle room, so I've got a logo up in the corner there. Let's dig right in. So, we are going to start off with... Oh, where's the... Let me just get the roster up. Oh god, where's the roster went? Where's it went? There we go. So, we're going to start with a base roster of 18 because I've read up and Ultimax actually has a roster of 18. That's including some shadows and some characters. So, we've got basically all around that. We've got this list was made by Maximum Ninja MW, which I'll link below. But boys, let's get started. So I think it makes sense. Let's be honest, the most obvious ones to put in the Persona 5 Arena roster is well, Joker. Obviously, he's the most obvious one. I think starting with Phantom Thieves makes sense. Now, Joker here is basically your Ryu. Maybe a wee bit faster because, you know, he's going to be basically the cover art guy. He's going to be the main one. Makes sense to put the main character, but he's also got a moveset. He was in Smash, and I think the Persona 5 cast would do really well in a fucking arc system game. I don't know why it's not been made yet, but I will start off. First one, obvious, it's Joker. So then we'll go Skull or Ryuji. I think it also makes sense. He's a bit more of a heavy hitter, I think, because I believe he uses like mallets and shit like that and hammers. So yeah, he's your sort of more heavy hitting version. I don't know if I'd make him like probably not a grappler. I've kind of got an idea for someone to do that, but it's weird because the Persona Arena game doesn't really have the usual fighting game sort of rules most of the time. You know, as well with characters, it doesn't really have the same. Like, there's not a lot of characters that fall into the more like Street Fighter. You know, the most obvious is a grappler, there's a wrestler, there's the zoner. You know, they don't get you to have characters. Anyway, Skull or Ryuji, and actually speaking of zoners, here we go. Anne or Panther, who I think with the mix of her, I think she uses a machine gun. Yeah, she uses a submachine gun and a whip. Kind of makes sense that she keeps things at bay, like because she's got more long range weapon. Obviously, Skull will be a bit more of a sort of heavy hitter. Joker would be your guy. It's a bit good at everything, but doesn't excel at everything, you know, or excel at anything really. Then we've got Fox or Yusuke. I always get confused with Yosuke, but Yusuke, the troubled painter. I think it makes sense for him to be a rush character because he uses a katana and is. Actually, he uses ice, so I think maybe a mix of him being super quick and using rush abilities mixed with his ice abilities freezing people would be a really interesting gameplay thing. And then we have Queen or Makoto. Makoto is my favourite character in Persona 5, and fuck me, there's your tank right there. Actually, no, maybe not a tank. Maybe she's close to like your Akuma, you know, the one that's like she's not got a lot of health, but fuck me, she puts out good damage and she gives out damage really well. You know, she's big combos, big fucking, because her whole thing is she punches things very hard. So I think Makoto would be a fucking great shout for Persona 5. Of course she would. She's one of the fucking Phantom Thieves, of course. Right, now, this is when it gets a bit funny. So I'm not going to put... So, as far as Futaba or Oracle, I'm going to put her in the same boat as I would put... Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put her down here. Right now, we'll come back to you, Futaba, don't worry. I'm actually going to make a new row below. And that is going to be... Let's make it blue. And that's going to be... not NPC, assist. because I want to have them in the game somehow, but I don't think they like, especially for Tab. I don't know if she has a skill set that would really match a fighting game, you know. But again, they don't. MIKEY was interesting at least, and I don't know if they do it with. What you call it? What's her name? Where is it? Where is it? I've lost her. Holy shit, she's not even here. MIKEY is here though. Anyways, what we'll put Futaba in the assist, because again, I don't feel Futaba has a moveset that would make it. Might you could. I'm guessing you could do it. Like I'm sure fucking Arxis could do anything, because half the characters to whip it for fucking Dragon Ball, you know, or even some of the characters to whip it for Persona or Guilty Gear or fucking BlazBlue, you know. I mean, I guess you could make her like a like she's maybe using the Necronomicon, which is like her big ship. Maybe that's what you're technically fighting, and she's like back controlling it or something. I guess you could do something interesting like that, but just to keep the numbers down for the base roster, so we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's only going to get bigger with Noir, who, yep, so I think it makes sense that Noir's our tank, because if you've read in her dialogue, she fucking loves killing. She's got a big fucking axe. She loves killing. She loves bringing death and destruction. And yep, who would have thought Haru had a dark side? I think it makes sense for her to be like, see if Ryuji's like, you know, like say he's got the, like his weapon is more like a one-handed, and he's more, how would I say it, like he hits hard. He's maybe not a tank, but I don't know. I think it makes sense for Noir to be more of a tank, because she's got a big two-handed axe and a grenade launcher, which that's a fucking heavy-hitting weapon. So if we make her the tank, actually, I guess you could make. Now that I'm thinking about it, you can make Queen the Grappler. Like if you make Motoko like one whipping at the, or Makoto. Sorry, Makoto. Motoko's a very different character. But if you make Makoto whip out fucking like, then again, I forget there's a crossover move with Makoto and Noir where it's wrestling, so fuck it, just give her wrestling moves. Fuck it, maybe she, and also I think she in canon likes like a dragon, or Yakuza, or whatever you all call it. So I think it makes sense that she'd be whipping at fucking burning hammers and all that, you know? So yeah, fuck it, we're having Queen as our grappler and Haru or Noir as our tank. Let's be honest, it makes sense to put Morgana in there, fucking the mascot of Persona 5. Could they fucking talk there? But I think it makes sense having Morgana in there. Like, balance, who the fuck cares about balance? Because let's be honest here, this, like, Morgana's gotta be like fucking tiny compared to the rest of them, but then again, I watched that video and I don't want to echo Thorgy too much, because Thorgy done a video kind of similar to this, and he pointed out there's characters in Dragon Ball Z who are like I don't know what, I might be very wrong with my character names, like Gohan, where it's literally child characters, and then you look at BlazBlue, where characters are all different shapes and sizes and all sorts, you know, so you can definitely get away with it. So I think you put Morgana in there as the, not a lot of health, but as annoying as fuck, kind of like Yoda in Soul Calibur 4, if I remembers that, because I'm pretty old and that game's pretty old as well. But anyway, right. So, oh, of course, yeah. I will put Crow in there. I'll put Akechi, but I think you could technically put. No, I don't want to put two Akechis in there, but I figure you could maybe do his moveset where it's half of it is like when he's got his good form. I can't remember what his good alias is. I can't remember what he goes by, but I figure you could do that, and then maybe he's got like a mode that just turns him into his Crow form, where he's suddenly fucking, wait, no, is he Crow in his, anyway, you know what I mean, and that would change his persona from, I believe, Robin Hood to, is it Loki he uses? It's maybe not Loki, I can't remember. Actually, I'm gonna look it up on my phone now. So Akechi, I can't spell his name right, oh god. Akechi persona, what's his persona? Right, I know. I'm looking at his character wiki. Does Akechi have a persona? Robin Hood. And yeah, it is Loki. So yeah, you've got your two different sort of movesets that I think you could use pretty well with Crow. Like, again, maybe you could split them into two, so yeah, fuck it. For the sake of talking here, let's pretend there's 2 Akechis here. So that's right now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, actually, I'm gonna put the number down a bit because I feel like 18 is a bit much. Let's say. Actually, I just realised what I've done. I looked up what the roster Ultimax had. What was the roster of original? See, that's why I thought I should pre-record this, because I could cut all these bits out. Persona 4 Arena. How many characters? 13. 13 I feel gives us a lot more. Let's just say 14. Let's give ourselves a wee extra one. Also, oh! I muted the music. Why do that, am I dafty? So, anyways. So we've given ourselves 14 characters. 14 I feels like there's enough wiggle room in there, but also we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh. So that's when my idea kind of crumbles, because I kind of need to, for the base game, I want to have, right, so we've got the Phantom Thieves, right? They're the obvious options that we want in there, but I'll add in you now. Obviously he'd be aged up, because I can't remember the year difference between Persona 3 and I know Persona 3 and 4 is like 2 years, I want to say. So Arena, the characters will be changing in, but there'd be a bigger time gap. So I feel like he'd probably go into the police after Dojima. I feel like that's what career path he'd take. So I'll explain the story once I go over it, you know. So maybe Yu is more experienced. Maybe he's obviously a bit older. So obviously that would change his fighting style a little bit. I'd make him again kind of like an all-rounder, but I was gonna say don't make him too. Obviously, it won't make him similar to Joker. Maybe he's a bit slower than Joker. Maybe he's more methodical. Maybe it's stuff like that. Anyway, Persona. I'm just looking when Persona 5 came out, just for a rough date. So Persona 5 came out in 2016. I know it says 20XX on it. So let's just say it is 2017, right? 2017. We'll put this a year after Persona, because there's tons of spin-offs. So I feel like you don't have to get around the thing of the Phantom Thieves still having their powers. So, we have, it's say 5 years since Persona 4, and actually what I'll do is I'll pitch a story to you before, and then I'll go over what these people's part in it. Basically, a year after that, this weird, almost like deep web sort of video comes up, and it's like a wrestling ring, kind of similar to Persona 4 Arena, and people are seeing that, but it's the Phantom Thieves that are running it, including like what appear to be kind of shadowy versions of them. So everyone's like, what the fuck, blah blah, you know. Obviously this is when we can get shadow versions, because I feel like we're having a lot of good guys in the cast, so obviously when you're doing the story mode you need to fight shadows and shit like that. So there are like these other versions, and it's got a mysterious ringleader that we can't quite make out, because every time the focus on them, static comes up. And I'll go over when I bring all the pictures and I'll explain everyone. So basically what happens is the Phantom Thieves are going to be investigating, but also Yu Narukami, who is now a police officer, is the head of a special shadow task force made by the Kirijo group, because that means Mitsuru's in it, because I feel Mitsuru would have enough money to set up this sort of, like, because obviously they're investigating shadows and shit like that, so I feel the Persona 4 the Persona 4 cast would join and help them investigate. So the Persona 4 cast that I'm bringing along for this, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, so we have 4. Oh fuck, I already had ideas. I just need so the one that I'm like, actually no, just to make up room, you're now just one character, Crow, because it would make sense that you couldn't go back to your first form and use Robin Hood. So let's just make him fucking big evil Akechi, but he's not quite evil, he's like anti-hero Akechi. Anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, I've now got 4. Cool, that works a bit better. So a part of the special unit is hunting down the mysterious shadow activity. includes Detective Naoto, because it makes sense that she would be leading the charge. Chie, who in Persona 4 left to become a police officer. So I think it makes sense that, well, not left, but that's what she went on to do, was join the police if you finish her ending and all that sort of stuff. So I feel like these three would be in the force together. They'd obviously still be best friends from when, you know, Persona 4 happened. So we'd have an older Yu, an older Naoto. Maybe Naoto would look a bit like maybe the way she looks in the Naoto light novel, which I've not actually read. I don't actually know anything about it. I just know the fact that a Naoto light novel exists. And Chie, obviously, would... Yeah, you update Chie's look. Maybe she's been training with Akihiko and she's like stronger. But Chie, again, kind of similar to what she done, because I think she was translated super well with her kung fu and shit like that. But she's probably obviously now more confident and more learned. Is that a word? She's more adept in martial arts. So, and this is the thing. So I wanted to bring Teddy in, right? Because I feel he's the fucking Persona mascot. But I feel like I need one more Persona 3 character. And I'm sorry, lads, it's got to be Aigis. So Aigis, obviously, walking weapon, walking tank. Maybe she's been upgraded. Maybe she looks more like she does in Persona The Answer. Maybe she's, you know, got extra fucking... Maybe it's like a new Aigis mark. I don't know. So we've got Aigis, Mitsuru, Chie, Naoto, Yu, Akechi, Morgana, Noir, Queen, Fox, Panther, Skull, and Joker. Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect. Because the last member of the Shadow Investigation Team, whatever it's called, you know, or Keijo Group, whatever it is Teddy. Because I don't think you can actually have Persona without Teddy, or a Persona big spin-off game without him. I feel he's a really cool character. He's kind of like a Dan Hibiki, where he's like, no, this character's a joke, but he's actually really fucking good when you know how to use him. And I feel like, again, before Morgana, Teddy was the Persona mascot. He was the one that was in all the marketing. He was the one that was always in things. Hell, if, spoiler alert, boys, him and Aigis and Joker are the ones representing them in Astrobot. So I feel it makes sense that this team would be here. Would Teddy be old? Nah, Teddy doesn't age. Teddy's too weird to age. Right. So basically, that's my pitch, is that there's the investigation team and the C's are now working together as this shadow investigation group, or I don't know what to call them, fuck. And they're hunting down what they and they think the Phantom Thieves are behind this, because obviously they've just seen the Phantom Thieves in TV and they're obviously investigating them as well. And the Phantom Thieves are like, what the fuck, this isn't us, right, we need to look into this. And my pitch was, it ends up that basically the final boss is something called Proteus. So Proteus is was a Greek god, I believe, who it could transform. That was his thing, and that's why that's the word, like, prototype comes from, something like protoform comes from Proteus, because that's like the form before he can change his form, you know. So my idea is basically he's been shapeshifting and shit. So say you beat your whoever you're fighting and you fight them as final boss. And do you remember that bit in Tekken Tag Tournament 2 where once you beat, say, True Ogre and Ogre, I think it's True Ogre and Jinpachi, I believe, and it goes white, the screen goes white, and you need to face off with Proteus in his true form, or not true form. And my thing is, what if Proteus' whole goal is that he's actually trying to activate, or he's trying to break the thing that brings Nyx to this world, like MYX, the thing that Persona 3 cast was fighting the whole time to keep there, and maybe he takes the form of your main character from Persona 3. That's my pitch. So, like, say the screen goes white and Proteus, you see him step down, but you don't see, like, say it goes into like a animated scene and you don't see him from what you see his feet, and everyone's like, oh fuck, oh shit. And then you realise he's taking the form of your Persona 3 protagonist. And that's the final boss fight, is Proteus as the Persona 3 protagonist. Because I feel if you're playing, especially as Aigis or Mitsuru, that's an emotional fucking bit, you know? And I don't know. Fanfic reasons, that's why he's doing that, and he's trying to awaken him, and you have to stop him. And then, boys, let's just say this game is very successful, and say it is already given 2 rungs of DLC, because in this world, this game sold amazingly, because let's be honest, Mikey's a fucking genius, and it should. We get 2 bits of DLC and an Ultimax thing. So Ultimax is kind of like how Mortal Kombat are doing their, I don't know what it's called. Not Aftershock, is it? It's Aftermath, I think it's called. I believe it's called. Or how Mortal Kombat 11 done it, where it's like, right, you've got some DLC and then you get, right, this is more DLC and a story. So we'll do it like that. So it's like a final update of the game. So, oh, would you look at that? Dongman's giving us a wee raid. How you doing, Michael? How you doing, Hunter? How you doing? Chronicle is not a loser, of, you know. He's very good at the World of Warcrafts and they're very good at the fighting games, which we're talking about it now. Sorry guys, I'm just getting really fucking nerdy with this. This is like the nerdiest shit I've ever done on stream, is basically my fanfiction. Oh, did they get the wheel? Right. What's he to do for the loser wheel? Oh, what's going on here? Oh, cheers for the follow, Mariam. How you doing? Right guys, so my first DLC for Persona 5 Arena I'm pitching. I had to compliment them. Oh, there's worse things on the wheel, I can imagine. But what's my pitch for the DLC? Right. So, I figure for DLC, you need to have a couple of fan favourites, but you need to have a really big one to end it on. You need maybe end it on or start it on. And boysies, I'm pushing for a big fucking DLC here. This is the thing. This is my fucking. Actually, no. I'll save that for the final DLC. So, for DLC 1, this one's for me, boys. This one's just for me. So, I've actually got ones that I've made up as well. We're getting Shadowsay. Because, or Leviathan, as she's known as. So, I feel that Shadowsay would be really cool as like a rage character. And by that, I mean, like, if you've ever played, say, like, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, like, say, Phoenix, where, say's first form, her whole goal is just to build meter. So all her goal is to build meter and then transform into her Leviathan form, and that's the shit that does damage. Nearly won and nearly got Spiffy's address. That's a scary one. So I feel like having Say there as, you know, as a rage sort of character would be kind of cool, and it'd make her very different from everyone else in this roster. Then, oh, right, now I've got all these Persona characters that I've not used, right, but I feel it would really make sense to have Violet in there, because she was brought in as one of the main, she was the main thing in Persona Royal, and I will say though, Naoto being the main roster and not Yosuke Manis, oh, I've limited myself to 14, and I was like, right, just who do I need for this game? Right, seeing the hype. Have you ever played BlazBlue? That. So we've got Violet, we've got Shadowsay for the first round of DLC. That's a pretty good one, I think. And then, do we add in? Yeah, fuck it, we'll add in Akihiko. So Akihiko was in Persona 3, and he's like he basically was this guy who was obsessed with, you know, being good at fighting, but he really wanted to be the best fighter he could, because then he could protect everyone. And then in Persona 4 Arena, he turns up and he's fucking your man for Fist of the North Star. He is jacked. He is massive. He just punches holes through things. So, let's go further with that. Let's make him a fucking machine. Let's make Akihiko like this big fucking. I'm trying to think of apart from, I forgot the name of your guy from Fist of the North Star, but you know what I mean. He's that sort of unstoppable, big fucking Roy Demagogue monster, you know, who just punches holes through things. Or Ricky O, which was a rip off to Fist of the North Star, but I can be here all day talking about shit like that. Kenshiro, that's your boy. That's your boy. He's basically Kenshiro now. And I feel we should put in a Persona 3, a Persona 4 character just to weigh it out, because we've got 2 Persona 5 ones. Who would be good for DLC? Kanji. How could I forget my boy Kanji being DLC? Kanji, the best character Persona has ever written. I fucking love Kanji. He's so fucking good. Again, that's the thing. He's a bit of a heavy hitter because his weapon's a fucking steel chair. But I figure, like, if he's older, Troy Baker needs to get in there somehow. Well, Troy Baker was voiced by Kanji, but only in certain bits, because in the animation and in the fighting game, and I think in everyone past that was actually Matt Mercer doing the voice. Troy Baker, did I say Troy Baker's voiced by Kanji? God damn it. Right, now we have DLC 2. So, actually boys, I'm going to hold off because I feel Kanji and Akiko are kind of similar. So, I'm going to put Kanji in DLC 2. And, boys, I want you to put yourself in this. I want to say, I've got another one, boys, and this one I've had to go a wee bit out of there with, because my next DLC, boy, is Demi Fiend. So, I think you hide this character, and do you remember Akuma from Street Fighter 2? Like Street Fighter, I think it's Turbo Dance System, where you had to do a very specific set of things, and then you would go to fight Bison, and then Bison would just get wiped out by Akuma, and you'd fight him instead. Yeah, that's what I thought. I wanted to put in a different character, so I thought Demi Fiend would be really cool, because he's the, and let's be honest, Demi Fiend's already used in quite a lot of Persona stuff where he's like a challenge fight, or maybe that's SMT I'm thinking of, I don't know, but I figure Demi Fiend would be really cool. He'd be it, because he would be drastically different from everyone else, and for some reason, I was thinking about putting the guy from Persona, the guy from Shin Megami Tensei 5 in here, but I just really like Demi Fiend. Just his design with the sort of green lines on was really cool. Then we kick off. This was the one I was buzzing about, boysies. This is the one I was absolutely buzzing about. So imagine we're Evo or whatever, TGS, whatever. Actually, not Evo. I like Evo. So we start off with a Persona sort of, advert talking about DLC 2, Pack 2 is coming. This is proper. Like, I think about this shit so much when it's like, your Smash Bros adverts. So we're at Evo and we're showing off our new character, because, boysies, it's Dante from Devil May Cry, because Dante appears in Dante appears in Nocturne, because then I figured, oh fuck, a fighting game. Imagine Dante, because Dante's fucking class in Marvel vs. Capcom. Imagine Dante fucking people up in an Arc Systems fighting game, and then I was fucking vibrating thinking about that. Get Dante in Persona 5 Arena. That'd be fucking class. Yes, it's specifically Devil May Cry 2 Dante, because that's the one that appears in because that's the one that appears in Persona 4 Arena. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, or Shin Megami Tensei Lucifer's Call, as it's called in the UK. But also, boys, you know what that means? That means we can get this poster. We can get, oh, I've moved the wrong thing. We can get this logo on the box art for Persona 5 Arena. And I can never pass up a moment to talk about that. So actually, what I'll do... actually, no, I'll get rid of that, because I was going to have that logo sitting on there the whole time. So, aye, boys, carrying on, let's dig deeper into this roster. So, we have Dante, Kanji. Oh, this is where I'm getting stuck. Because I think it makes sense having Wolf in there, who is in the Persona 5 Strikers. He's like an adult member of the Phantom Thieves, who I thought was really, really cool. So I think it makes sense putting him and Sophie in there, who is another character from Persona 5 Strikers. She's an AI who ends up working the Phantom Thieves side. She has a really fun sort of moveset where she uses yo-yos as weapons. So I feel like you'd have her be kind of like fucking Kratos, like just whipping people about with these, with the sort of yo-yo weapons. Wolf, he's a bit more, what does he use? I can't quite remember. I think he uses a big fucking, he's a big edgy boy with a big fucking sword, I feel he'd be interested in Kanji, obviously my boy. Kanji would obviously be helping the investigation team And now, boys, we're moving on to Ultimax, which my pitch for Ultimax was so kind of similar to the main Ross story, where it's like Proteus in the form of your Persona 3 protagonist was trying to take over, all shit. So I don't actually know how many people I'll give for Ultimax. We'll say Ultimax, say 4. Because that, I feel, is just another sort of... I feel that's like another DLC type thing. Because I don't want to because the thing is, in reality, I would have every character on here. Every character would be in the fucking list. But I find it weird that I've not put any of the Velvet Room assistants in. Now, I would love to have Margaret and Elizabeth in, but they've got Lavenza down here, and I don't see how Lavenza could have an interesting moveset. But maybe the first cutscene in Ultimax is they think they beat Proteus, and then Proteus attacks the Velvet Room and maybe splits Lavenza in 2 again, and then we can have Caroline and Justine in, because I think having Caroline and you can have them, maybe they're fighting each other as they're going, you could do a really fun moveset, I feel like that. And also we have wee batons and chainsaws. I feel you could have a really fun moveset like that. Like maybe they're fighting over the weapon and they're swinging each other into things, as I feel like that'd be a lot of fun, especially from an animation front, Marie, if you want, I think I'd probably put assistants. Yeah, it makes sense. Put Marie as the assists. Have Reese in there, and I feel it weird that Fuka's not here. Really, really strange that they've not made Fuka. Right, so who else do we put in the Ultimax one? I feel that maybe the attack, which got right. Big spoilers for Persona 4, Persona 5 Royal. Maybe Proteus, instead of trying to use more of Makoto's powers, use a bit more of your Maruki from your man from Persona 5 Royal, who his whole thing was he tried to just make this world perfect where everyone had what they wanted, and then everyone sort of went, no, this isn't real, we can't fucking live in a fake world, which I feel was a really fucking cool story. But maybe Proteus does that and then tries somehow to open up the bridge to Nyx to bring them to the world, and one of the people that they give this wish to, Adachi. Because I feel Adachi you could have a really cool scene where he's your new fucking sub boss. You fight Adachi before you fight Maruki, or you fight what you call it? Actually, no, I'm gonna give myself 6 because I feel this is a bit bigger than just normal DLC. So, because I was now realizing I have one choice, but I have a few more I'll try and stick in there. I'm gonna get some rules already. We will put in, and I feel that if we're doing we can do this thing where it's say because Maruki's powers, Nyx's powers and shit like that, maybe dimensions get weak, and that's how you can explain that Demi-Fiend and Dante are cutting about, and maybe that's how you can also explain that Fem MC from Persona 3 Portable is there. I feel that would be an interesting way to sort of bring her in, as if you done it that was she maybe, I don't know, fucking pulled in from another universe, and so did Dante and Demi-Fiend and our next member of the Ultimax roster. Because, boys, we have Raido here. Because I just fucking love Raido. I've always wanted to dig into the games in the PS2, but unfortunately, I am not a millionaire. Rumours are they're getting the HD version, so I feel having Raido would be a really cool one. You could have him maybe use his persona as wee fucking Jack Frost. That'd be kind of cool. So maybe in the story, Raido and Dante are working together to try and figure out what the fuck's going on. Maybe we have these 3, Demi-Fiend, Dante and Raido, and maybe Maruki or Proteus are sort of making them, warping them against the Phantom Thieves and the investigation team in the seas, whatever you want to call them. So we now have one more And who's going to be our final member of the roster? This one's gonna be a tough one, boys. This one's gonna be a controversial one. I'm gonna put Labrys in because she's the only character that well, not only character, because you've got your man there, Sho Mizuki, or Minazuki. I think I can't remember how to pronounce his name. She's the character that's like the original Persona Arena character. So I think it makes sense that she get brought in. So there's our roster, including our base roster, our first wave of DLC. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put Kanji at the end of the DLC because I feel that's a good enough one to end on. Then our Ultimax update, which has 6 characters, and then Imagine Fuka is beside Rise, because it's really actually what I'll do. I won't have time to make a new one. This is gonna ruin my Fuka Persona 3. This is gonna ruin my fucking thing. We're just gonna put a picture of Fuka in here because it's gonna annoy me that she's not got an image. So I'm just gonna. There we go. So I feel that they'd be assists you could bring in. That's the only way I can really think of working them in. So boysies, I know this is a bit of a weirder stream, but here we go. And this is our final roster. Yosuke, I can see him flying in and not backing while falling off his bike. That'd be interesting. Again, there's a lot of people you could use. Yosuke, it breaks my heart that I've not, like, Persona 4 is my favourite game of all time. It breaks my heart I've not found room for Yosuke or Yukiko. Actually. So, I think characters that appear, or maybe NPCs that appear in other games, you could bring them in for cameos. Like, for example, there was a mode in Persona 4 Arena called Golden Mode, which was kind of like a roguelike. And my idea for that was like, and it was like you'd have a shop that you could buy items in that would then strengthen you as you go deeper into dungeons. I feel like you could maybe use, like, if for the shop you would have like a grown-up Nanako in there, like she's working at Junes, and maybe she, because I seen a meme where she was just depressed working in Junes. Like she's like, oh, that's not what it was like. Oh, I thought Junes was magic, you know. And I was like, I find that funny. Put her in there. You could have like a doctor, because I need, if it's a Persona thing, I need to pitch put into Tekumi. I'm surprised she's not in the base roster. But you know, I need to pitch putting her in. Why don't actually? You know what would be kind of cool? See, because we're using. Oh right. I feel like I should put Strega in as assist. That'd be kind of interesting. Actually, no, I'll cut that. Anyway, boysies, that has been. Actually, I'll put the Velvet Room assistants in as assists, and Fuka as well. So I'll cut there because I could be here all day talking about this. So our base roster is Joker, Skull, Panther, Fox, Queen, Noir, Morgana, Crow, Yu, Naoto, Chie, Teddy, Mitsuru, Aegis, and Proteus, who is in the form of Makoto, or your Persona 3 protagonist. Your first DLC, we're kicking it off with Shadow Sei or Leviathan, Violet, Akiko, Demi Fiend. DLC 2, we're kicking off with Dante, Wolf, Sophia, Kanji, and then for the Ultimax update, we have Caroline and Justine, we have Maruki, we have Adachi, we have FemMC, we have Raido, and Labrys. So, boysies, thank you so much for joining us. Actually, what I'll do is I'll get the wee photo up. So I apologise for this. I made this in 5 minutes. There we go. There's Persona 5 Arena, and I'll get rid of the logo so we can have a wee gander at the roster. There we go, boysies. So thank you so much for joining us, boysies. I've been Mikey. Oh, why is Shadow back? I meant to just technical issues as I'm going out. What's it like? Get that Dante sticker in there. Actually, yeah, fuck it, we'll do that. We'll get the Dante sticker on the cover, and then we'll call it a day there. So I feel like, just as a sort of And that's what we do. That's how it's DLC. That's how we go. We don't even get a new cover. We just get a sticker and put them over the original copies and put a wee couple of the. Remember back when you used to buy some DLC and it'd be in a fucking. You'd open it up and it would just be a code on a wee scratch card. Put a couple of scratch cards into existing copies because this game's going to sell out. There we go. So aye, boysies, that is my pitch for Persona 5 Arena. I had a lot of fun with this. I am planning on doing more pitches for things, but obviously I've got to take a bit more time. I think the two I've got in mind now are the third Dissidia game and Marvel vs. Capcom 4. But aye, for the meantime, thank you so much for joining us, boysies. I've been Mikey. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Cheers for joining us. Aye, see yous.